Welcome, happy and blessed Tuesday night, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host for this evening. My name is Myra Ferreira. I'm one of the executive sales directors with this incredible platform, amazing opportunity. And at one point, just like you, I was invited just to join this movement. Trust and believe you are locked in at the right place at the right time. Go ahead and light it up in the chat if you were not able to shout out your name and let us know where you're plugging in from tonight. But a huge, huge welcome and a big congratulations to anyone who might be new. If this is the first time that you're tuning in with us tonight, just get used to what it is to be part of something real big. You might not understand and realize how powerful this truly is to begin with, but trust and believe over time, you'll get it. You'll get with the program. You'll catch on to the vibe. But also, definitely feeling a whole lot of excitement. Everyone that made it out to our Super Saturday this past weekend in South Florida, pat yourself on the back, light it up in the chat with some flames if you received some powerful knowledge, if it was worth the while, if it was worth the effort, if it was worth taking that time to be there present and in person. I was one of those fortunate to be there too, because I've decided events are non-negotiable. Trust and believe. It's kind of like when you are attending school and if you're going for a degree or something, you have to go and have those lecture hours or maybe submit your work online if that's the case. This is the way that you are clocking in for the growth of your very own business. So again, if you were anywhere in the room, in the area, I know you were absolutely blown away. It was huge. But as we do each and every week on these Tuesday nights, let's go ahead and get started with recognition. We love to celebrate the success that we see others going ahead and creating for themselves and everyone that's around them as well. So tonight we'll start off with the top 10 customer enrollments. So these are the agents with the top 10 number of protection plan memberships within the entire umbrella of Team Relentless, underneath the direction, of course, and guidance and mentorship of none other than our Senior Vice President, Mr. Xavier Marrero. Holding down the number one spot, we have, shouting out, Vice President Bruno Florida. Next, Dr. Arnold Bogarty. Next, Nicole Oglesby, Chantel Ramirez, Stephanie Lopez, Crystal Lago, Alicia Winship, Austin Chevrolet, Esteban Avila, and Anthony Kelly. So go ahead and celebrate them in the chat. I know your lines are muted, but we do want to definitely acknowledge their efforts and go ahead and celebrate it with them, right? Because the same way that we celebrate others' success is the same way others will celebrate yours when it's your turn. So moving right along to our second list of top personal sales producers. So these are the agents that are generating overall the highest business volume. And it's, again, within the entire nationwide team of Relentless, starting off with Vice President Bruno Florida. Next, Vice President Zandra Valles, RVP Reza Ortero, VP Dr. Arnold Bogarty, Stephanie Lopez, Austin Chevrolet, Chantel Ramirez, Anthony Winters, Anthony Kelly, Andra Rush. So again, celebrating you. I know everyone's muted, but again, congratulations to each one of you, killing it, making an impact and leaving your mark. Of course, the higher volume as well, more of a percentage that you could reap benefits from in the long run. But moving right along, our third, definitely not least, which is the top 10 recruiters. So these are agents that within our whole Relentless team are expanding our reach, growing our family, and helping to bring and invite others to come along with us on this amazing journey. The number one spot right now held by Boss Lady Zandra Valles, Joseph Griffin, VP Bruno Florida, Malcolm McLeod, Rosario Salazar, EVP David Marquez, Tay Burnett, Dr. Arnold Bogarty, Pete Lago, and Chantel Ramirez. So again, just celebrating your success so far, just knowing that you're going out there, helping people follow their dreams, helping them be in charge of designing their life, and inspiring that around those in a very impactful way. So again, this weekend really is something that has just been on replay on my mind tonight. And I just want to take a moment and say thank you so much for anyone that just took a moment and let themselves be known, just introduce themselves. A lot of times, I know I can't speak for everyone, but I can only imagine when you have a team and there's some individuals that you only get to see either by way of Zoom or maybe on phone calls, you have not quite met in person. I think it just adds to our familyship and the unity within our team, as far as our team culture, to just have taken a moment and introduce yourselves. I know me personally, I got to meet Myra and Omira. Like, I just thought that was really awesome. But a great deal of people that I know are committed to their dreams and again, I just want to thank each one of you that took that moment to go ahead and let yourself be known and say hello and greet all of us, really, because we don't always have the opportunity to be connected and together. But again, this weekend's event was amazing. It just felt so great to be back in the room with everyone and receiving that information in person. It's a feeling like none other. So as far as what we want to go ahead and highlight for tonight, we're going to start off with some testimonies, right? We want to hear from not the regular, and I don't even say regular, not the usual and typical individuals that are always sharing and pouring their hearts out for all of us on these Zooms. We actually want to hear from just some new faces, just some other members of the team that were able to be there in person, and they can actually speak to us as far as what the event was like. So if I'm not mistaken, I do believe this first gentleman, this individual, I was able to meet him at our friends and family event for Team Relentless about 2 months ago or so, just bringing that curiosity, bringing that energy, bringing that spirit. So he'll be able to share his story because I honestly don't know it that well. I don't believe he's been a part of the team for quite too long just yet, but I know he was in the room and he was able to experience what the Super Saturday event was like. So to Mr. Matthew Samani, I see you're connected. Are you able to unmute your line? We'd love to hear from you and share about what you thought about this Super Saturday weekend. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me, Myra?
Yes, loud and clear. You got it.
All right, perfect. I do want to thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. That's amazing. Like, it's wonderful to actually be able to meet you guys and act in person and just to feel that energy. And I definitely had a lot of takeaways from this weekend. It was, for better use of words, life-changing. It really was. But I did want to shout out my mentors, mainly Courtney Israel and Gino Vortier. Definitely wouldn't be here without them. And I'm just happy they finally got me to an event. But let me go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Matthew Somney. I am living in Atlanta, but I actually travel on the road. I actually grew up on the road. My mother is ex-military. We actually come from a small town outside of Panama City. So have a nice little country upbringing, but came from a sales background. Went from there, actually was living pretty good. And then life kind of hit me kind of hard. I actually spent a week in jail facing life in prison. So I did pray a lot. It got me out of the situation, especially since I didn't do anything wrong. But, after experiencing something like that, it actually puts you in a moment of complacency, and you really have that fear that you don't know what's going to hit you next in life. So got a dead-end job, but ended up having my daughter. So I had to change something. So I knew that there was no way I could support my daughter and be in her life, especially after working 84 hours a week, every week doing construction and actually missing that first year of her life. So again, praying and just having that faith that something's going to come along, because trust me, it definitely did. I was introduced into this program to actually build myself. And from there, things have just been going from 0 to 100, for better use of words. And I love the fact that we do have this ability to share with other people and actually bring other people into that elevation of life.
But, I think that's amazing. I really, really do. And pardon me, Matthew, definitely not to interrupt you, but wow, that was a powerful share. I wasn't even expecting that deep of a story. But as far as, this event and seeing from where you were, the vision you got when you first got started, now having attended the Super Saturday, what kind of impact do you feel that gave you? What type of experience was that? If you're going to actually just speak to the team in general about the importance of attending these type of events, because as is right now, you're already working on an entire 360 of your whole life as is, right? Just by making the decision, of course. So what would you say?
The two major impacts from this weekend would be just that energy. Being around that type of atmosphere really puts you in that mind state, really helps you understand that these were all regular people. These are all people that live their life daily, that work and really want that success. And the fact that they all have that same mindset, they all have that energy, and you see it, and then you also feel it. That is the biggest thing for me, just feeling that. And then just talking to David Marquez, that right there blew my mind. And he made me really truly understand that because of that energy, because of the fact that we're always talking to people, we want to build each other up. We're not in sales. We're not in credit repair. We are in the people business. We are in the bringing people up business, the giving that gift business. But that's what I got from this weekend.
Wow, that's like I said, super amazing. I know that you probably left the entire team even eager to learn more about your story, just to hear you have gone through something so difficult that's definitely not common and not for anyone just to exist and survive and overcome. You've only gotten started writing your story. So truly, for real, a huge shout out to you for being transparent, for sharing that part of your life, for explaining what it was like for you. And really, I mean, when you think about it, we're in the people building people industry. You know, a long time ago, I remember hearing by our very own Alfred Nixon explaining on how this particular business is a platform where you are it's a compensation plan attached to the person you create yourself to be. So again, huge shout out to you. It was definitely great to see you there, and everyone else that made it out. So key points, of course, understanding that people to people relationships, that's really the most important currency, hands down, in pretty much anything that you do. So again, huge shout out to you for making that extra effort, coming in from out of state. So that was not even an excuse. There could have been a whole bunch of reasons why you stayed, or, you know, parenthood or other obligations that you might have going on. But again, the importance of events is not because us up here that you see regularly are going to sit there telling you and telling you and telling you. It's truly because we've seen what that translates into as far as the success and growth of our business. So we're going to move on to our very next individual that has been contacted with an invitation to go ahead and share their testimony as far as what the big deal was about this Super Saturday, what were some of the key takeaway points, and what type of impact it made from the business, maybe from before to after and having been in the room. So did our regional sales director, Mr. Wilfredo Roman, or Will, can you hear me? And did you make it on tonight Zoom?
Yes, can you see me and hear me okay?
Loud and clear, you got it.
Definitely give it back to you and everything you do for the team and the organization. Like always, nobody's as consistent as you. Stay on calls, stay consistent no matter where you're at. It could be in the car, it could be at an appointment. Myra ain't missing that 10 o'clock call. But as far as what it did to me, prior to going to an event, it did a lot for me. I want to shout out, you know, all my leaders, all my mentors, starting from Natalie Rodriguez, Reza Otero, obviously Xavier Morero, that's my brother, Alfred Nixon. The times that I've been around him, he's definitely poured into me and took me in no matter my position or what I have yet to accomplish. A lot of people may think that these people, and shout out to my brother Rob too, but a lot of these people, I know they're like celebrities, because not everybody, due to COVID and due to the fact that we're nationwide, we don't always get to mingle with these individuals. So the relationship ends up becoming almost like they're celebrities of some sort. But I've been able to be around all these individuals. What it did for me, there was a few things that it did for me. I don't really know this gentleman's name. I know he's Haitian. We got a lot of Haitians and Relentless. To all my Haitian, ça passe, Napule. But regardless, he's 25 years old. He's actually an executive vice president with the organization. I think his team is called Team Royal. But seeing him on stage, and when he screamed out for his team and he said, "Yo, Royals, where you at?" I mean, he was deep in there. I don't know if he's in that area, but that whole crowd started screaming for him. And it gave me goosebumps because I know that he's impacted those people screaming and cheering for him. He's changed their lives. He's impacted their lives the same way that my life has changed. And honestly, the person that I was when I went to the Super Saturday, I left that person behind. I'm taking full responsibility for my leadership, for my role in my organization. Whether I'm successful or whether it's crumbling, it's nobody's fault but mine, because I chose to recruit these individuals. So it's something that I'm not doing that's allowing my team to either win or fall off. And instead of playing the blaming game of being, oh, my leader, my upline, this, that, and the third, seeing all these success stories and seeing all these individuals winning, and they went through the trenches. Like, you might think you got it bad, but have you had to sleep in the streets? Have you went hungry? Have you went homeless? Have you lost it all? Had to start from the bottom? Have you lost all hope and had nobody there for you, not even a dollar in your pocket, but your vision was so big that you knew where you was going to end up? The only difference between you and where you were going to end up is a matter of time. And again, like, look at right now, a Pinnacle senior vice president, he talking about he's an 8-figure earner. I don't know if you guys know what 8 means. That means over 10 mil. So just hearing that, this individual is 28 years old. Like, this ain't, so seeing all these cars, I don't know if I was at a car show, if there's NBA players here. I don't know. I know I was touching all of them and taking pictures. You go on my profile, you think I'm a millionaire. And I'm going to be a millionaire. And that's a fact. I'm taking this all the way to the top. I appreciate everybody on this call. I appreciate all you guys for letting me talk on this call. And we taking this to the top, baby.
Woo! Thank you. Awesome share, Will. It was definitely great not only to see you in person, but to hear you recap like that. How real it is, how true and real it is. So congratulations to you on all your successes so far. I know as well, just like Matthew, you've only gotten started. There's that much more yet for you to realize and achieve. And it did pretty much look like a car show outside, right? It looked like a real fancy, high-end car show. And to see and witness all those people being real, genuine, and sharing about what they've gone through. I think we have to do a lot more self-assessments, right? Asking ourselves questions like, have you ever had to? Have you ever experienced? Have you ever gone through? Have you ever lost, right? And had to start from ground zero, because it just makes it that much more real, just like Will said, of course. So thank you so much for that share. It was truly powerful. But of course, team, like we do each and every Tuesday night, I really hope that you are ready to take some notes down with a pen and paper, because we're officially transitioning into the trainee segment for tonight. So I get the privilege of being able to introduce this individual. He's paved the way for so many of us here. I mean, really, I was fortunate enough to have met him even before this particular opportunity, but he's made himself, an utmost example of what it is to be a professional in network marketing. He is a leader's leader. He was able to hit the stage on Super Saturday, definitely pouring into the entire crowd, and week after week, event after event, Zoom after Zoom, and even call or any time that he's there or you can reach this individual, he's pouring his heart out into all of us, because he's as well had to go through a lot in his life to reach the point where he is right now, but he's created a legacy for himself, his family. He's a husband, a father, started out in the music industry, right? He's a DJ. He'll still pull out his instruments and play. I promise he will. He's got that talent down pat. But today, he's actually an executive vice president with this opportunity. So if you didn't already know, he's generating $500,000 in business every 30 days, right? Every 30 days. And it really just came down to a decision and his focus and dedication. He's also an R&R Level 1 club member right now. So it's a beautiful company paid for, Mercedes. But again, he's just still making sure he's taking all of us right along with him straight to the top. So again, it's an honor and a privilege for me to go ahead and consider him not only a friend, a mentor, a business partner, but to open it up for tonight, please pay all of your attention to none other than our Executive Vice President, Mr. David Marquez. Did you make it? And can you hear me okay?
Yes, I did. And I can hear you perfectly fine. Can you hear me okay?
You got it.
Awesome. Awesome. Everybody that attended this past weekend's event, drop some fire in the chat. Let me know. Tell me how it was. I was super excited. This is why I don't ever miss an event, guys. And this is why it's important. You heard everyone's story, right? We actually had one person that wasn't able to jump on tonight, because how many of you know when you're ready to change your life, the universe will come and test you, right? And so she was actually getting ready to go to her daughter's house, but she was a guest that attended the event, and she actually signed up after attending the Super Saturday because it was just that heartfelt. She said it changed her life in the way that she was thinking. And so we wanted to bring her on, but obviously we couldn't because she couldn't make it out here. But hopefully you guys will hear that story. She's already got 2 people coming to convention. Okay, so check this out, guys. Who wants to know the highest paying skill, right? All of the highest paying skill out of all of the skills that there is in this industry of network marketing, the highest paying skill is promoting events. And it's true. If you can get, look, if you can get good at inviting and getting butts and seats, that's how you're going to make your bread in this. And it's, I mean, Alfred will tell you, Xavier will tell you, that is where people build not only social proof or social belief, right? Because they actually see it, and your friends and family actually see it when you're there and they see thousands of people in a room. They're like, oh, this is real, right? But then also it builds belief in yourself. See, I remember when I went to my first and I heard a story, it just impacted me. And it's not just, type in the chat if you know, there's all types of different events. Obviously, we attended, you know, it's like a regional event, right? Our Super Saturday event. But we also have big company events. Like we have one that's coming up in August. There you go. Now, how many of you guys already got your ticket to FES's convention, right? Put a 1 in the chat if you already got your ticket. And I'm telling you guys, within the next couple of days, them things are going to sell out. So you want to make sure you have the most real estate in the room. All right. So that way we say it, the people that bring the most people are the people that are going to make the most money. And so I drew a little illustration for you guys, but I want to tell you the type of events that are out there, right? We have online events. We have industry events. We have home events. We even have weekly events. And so for those of you in the Tampa Bay area, we have our weekly game day, right? But we've even gone out our way to help those that are not in Tampa still be part of our game day events. And now we're having people come online and streaming it. And so guys, when I tell you we're streaming the event live, people can invite their guests. We're going to step it up a notch. After Super Saturday, we were talking with all the leaders and we decided we wanted to do a game day contest for everybody. This upcoming Thursday, the agent that invites and brings the most guests is going to win cash prize. And on top of that, every single guest that is there invited and comes on time is going to actually receive a vacation voucher to their choice of Mexico or Miami, not for signing up, not as enticement, just for coming out. Type of fire in the chat if you guys like that, right? Now, for those of you that can't make it to Tampa, but still invite people, we're going to do this for you. We're going to create a Zoom link that they have to register on, and we're going to give the opportunity for you guys to do the exact same thing. So you could potentially win sitting at home in New York, inviting the most guests. So how many of you guys would love to do that? How many of you guys, I'm going to tell you a quick story because this is what happened. This is what changed the game for me. I remember in my last company, you know, we had kind of a seasonal, you know, guy that actually worked in network marketing and he actually did this spiff with us. And I said, oh man, I was struggling as a DJ, you know, kind of making money some days and I could use the cash. So when he came out and said, look, same exact contest, he said, whoever invites the most guests is going to get $100 cash, $200 cash, and all of their guests are going to get a free vacation. I called everybody, including my father, right? Now, my dad, just so you guys know, his birthday was coming up that same day. And they were already planning a trip to do something with the family. And I called my dad because I knew if I could get a hold of him and I could convince my dad to come, that everyone else in the family would come. So this is, take notes on this, because this is going to be how you guys, whoever wins on Thursday, and everybody that, and it doesn't even matter about the cash, just for getting the guests and getting them to come, we're going to get enrollments. But if you guys come out and you invite like this, starting now, all you have to do is do what I did. I told my dad, I told my friends, I said, listen, everybody, if you come out, right, my company is doing a contest. And for anybody that comes out, they're going to get a free vacation. But all you have to do, you don't have to buy nothing. I told my dad, don't even bring your credit card. Don't even bring your money. Just come. We're going to go and see this. I want to win the contest. So you'll be helping me, but everybody else is going to get a vacation out of it. And we could plan that later on in the year. And my dad said, okay, we'll be there. Guys, I came with like 6 people from my family, overall 22 total guests. And I won the cash spit. And all of my guests received a vacation. But that's not the, here's the catch, or here's the kicker from all of it. At the end of the presentation, out of those 22, 12 of them enrolled, including my dad. And I was like, wow, had no idea. Just getting them in to see the information, they were going to go ahead and see the value in it. But see, most people don't do that. They prejudge it without even looking at the information. So guys, we just gave you a gem, a nugget to run with. Make sure you guys utilize it because it's going to be fun. We got a couple of days left before that game day, and I'm excited to see who's going to come out on top. We all are going to come out on top regardless, because all of your guests are going to have the vacation and you're going to have some enrollments. And I'm just excited. We're going to pack out the house, pack out the room. I already know this. I'm just excited to see the results from it. And so the last thing I want to talk to you guys about, obviously those are weekly events. We have convention coming up. We are fortunate to be here in Florida because this year's convention is going to be in Orlando. See, we all made the sacrifice and would go every year to Vegas. In fact, there is no such thing as excuses because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to bring on a gentleman right now to share his story on how he was just a field trainer. And I promoted the hell out of the event. I told him, you need to get there by all means. I said, you can stay with me in my room. He did. And it was a whole bunch of us. But when we came out there, he didn't let me know one little thing that really, I mean, he was humble. And so I'm not gonna say it all for him. Do we have our Vice President, Bruno Floridor, on?
My brother, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Man, excited, man. I'm super excited. I want to go ahead and give it back to God, before anything. Also, and give it to you, phenomenal mentor, man. And also all of the great leaders, Myra, for always hosting this call. Listen, man, I'm super excited. I mean, for convention, man. Guys, I went to convention. I signed up in the business November 15, 2018. When after I signed up, remember, I usually share my story. My checking account was negative $584. So thanks to Mr. David Marquez, because I tell him I did not have the income, guys. I want to keep it honest. And I had to pay him to be the DJ at the festival. And he said, yo, you will pay me later. I don't even know if I never pay him, right? And he let me sign up with the income, with the money to be part of this. I was broke. Can you imagine in December, he would chat back to me, not even making enough money in the business yet, and be like, bro, you got to go to convention. How serious you are about this? I'm like, listen, man, I'm broke. Like, how am I going to go over there? Like, I remember at that time I had like $2 or $3, $2 or $3, on my, on my account, right? So, and I was like, man, I can't go to Vegas. I mean, I wanted to go, but guys, I actually went to make a sacrifice. Let me explain to you this, because maybe that can help somebody, right? I did a sacrifice. I was all in. Like it was nothing. I mean, I did not see nothing else I was gonna do to become successful to become successful in life. So that was the only thing. I was all in. I was like, you know what? I'm getting paid on Thursday at Walmart. I said, what I'm gonna do is they're gonna pay me on Thursday. I'm gonna take that money out of my account completely. On Friday, I'm already scheduled my bills. My checking account gonna go negative again. I don't care. I just wanna go to the event. Because the way Mr. David was promoting this thing, I'm like, I gotta go to this event. I gotta go ahead and change my life. So I take that money, buy my ticket, do everything, with the hotel and everything, grateful for Mr. David, who actually have a couple of us, we were contribute, with the hotel. But guys, I went to convention. I was excited. And I was very excited. I went to convention Thursday, Mr. David Marquez. We had Paul who actually take us out, Eureka as well, Mr. David Marquez's wife, so who were actually helping us. I was eating the first day, second day, and the third day, man, I was like, on Sunday, I was like, man, like, how I'm gonna let, people taking care of me, like this not make sense, man. I was excited about the event, but I was like, you know what, let me reach out to one of my friends. So I reached out to my friend who I actually explained the business before. And my friend said, bro, you telling me you're gonna be a millionaire and now you asking me to cash up you $10 to eat? Like, are you crazy? You let those people bring you to Vegas? Like, you should never do that. Like, he was talking to me like I was a child. And I was like, you know what, man, it's okay. That Sunday, man, I was drinking only water, y'all. Did not eat. The only thing that was gonna make me excited is, it was my goal to take a picture with Mr. Alfred Nixon. So I had that picture. I was like, man, forget about it. I'm hungry, man. Because I was watching his videos all the time. So guys, listen, after that Sunday, we went to the airport. Man, they asked me if I'm hungry. I say, no, I'm good. I get on the plane, man. I was always passed out. I was always passed out, man. When I get again to the airport, Eureka was like, you want a Uber? Like, you good? I was like, I'm good. Bro, I did not even have the fun to get home. My uncle tell me to walk 20 minutes on the highway to meet him to give me a ride. But guess what? Event change lives, y'all. I have the excitement. I have the blueprint. I have, the belief. I saw what I was in. I went home and I said, enough is enough. I will not sleep in this garage anymore for more than 4 months. I was sleeping in a garage. I said, I will not stay in this garage for more than 4 months. I will not have watching my bank account every single week going to negative. But guess what? The event gave me everything that I needed. I won with the team, become an RSD. After this event, y'all, I went in Vegas in February. In March 3rd, we already make so much money. We walk away from our job live on Facebook. Are you kidding me? Like, event is everything. Like, there's no way you're gonna say you serious about this business, or you have family, you got, you love your family, or this is your wife, my kids is my wife, and you don't have your convention ticket yet. Are you kidding me? Like, are you serious? Like, there's no way you don't have your convention ticket yet. And last year when I went to convention, I cried because the same guy who could not eat was buying his team food and paying for hotel room and all of those things. I'm like, bro, but first one is God, but second one, it was convention. So if you are serious about this, your business, man, make sure it doesn't matter what you do. I don't care if you're gonna sell your shoes, if you wanna sell your clothes, I don't care what you're gonna do. Make sure you get yourself to convention. I love you all, and I give it back to you, Mr. David Marquez, man. Let's go.
Wow, man. Thank you, brother. We could have just closed it right there, but that's pretty much, I mean, I seen Bruno's come up, and just that alone, guys, decisions are made at events. Yes, we have fun. Yes, we have, people vacation to Florida, but a lot of them can't even come up with the money to come to convention. But you're quick to go to Vegas and you live in Florida. I just never understood it, but I just wanted him to come on and share that. I also wanted to share with you guys this. This was something I learned from the GOAT, right? Mr. Eric Worre himself, when he was talking about promoting events. And so hopefully, Myra, you can see me on this other screen. Let me see if I'm able to share my screen. Awesome, brother. Let me go ahead and mute this one, and let's see. I don't want to start the broadcast here. All right. Okay, perfect. So you guys can see? You're able to see?
No, it just shows your photo.
Okay, let me see here. Oh, the other phone, the other one, the other David Marquez. It should be on here. Let me see.
I think it's going to show on the screen whichever microphone you're using.
Okay, so then I'm going to switch it. All right. Hopefully you guys can hear me now.
Yeah,
you're
we
able
can
to hear
hear
me
you.
and you're able to see it, right?
Correct. You got it. Yes.
Perfect. So I'm going to have somebody. So I learned this, and when Eric Worre talked about this, I was just mind blown. See, when you invite people to events, you always want to start off with, if I would you, right? We always hear it. If I could get you a place to stay and all you had to do was get your ticket, would you come out, right? There's so many different ways that you can promote an event. Now, I know Alfred did this with Xavier. He did it with Bobby Kim. He did it with many people. And look what came of that, right? So Eric Worre, and this is kind of how it was for me when I attended an event. And he was basically standing right here because he went to the bathroom. And he was sitting in the front somewhere, but he obviously didn't want to interrupt what was going on. So he saw this big top earner in the company. Ironically, this guy's name was also David, right? So he asked this guy, David, Eric Worre, in the beginning of his career, what's the secret? What's the secret to being up here on the stage and making that type of income? And the guy said, really, there's no secret, but he wanted to enlighten him. And he told him, he said, you see this stage right here, or this whole area where everyone is in attendance? He says companies do this about 3 times a year. So that's every 4 months, right? 4, 8, 12. Well, he said after the first event, 4 months later, half of these people will never show up again. He then went and said the people that do show up end up making 2 times the amount that come back to the event. But he said it's not done yet. At first, he was like, wow, that's awesome. He's like, it's not done there. He said the next 4 months, half of those people never come back. And the people that do make 4 times the amount of what those people were making. And that was good. He's like, wow, 4 times the amount? That's amazing. He said, yeah, but it doesn't stop there. You see, the people on the next round, so we're 4 months, 8 months, 12 months in, he said, these people never come back. So if you still come back, you're now making 8 times the amount. But it doesn't stop there. He said, the next 4 months, right? Now we're over a year and we're 16 months in, or excuse me, 20 months in. And he said, you're now making 16 times the amount. But then these people don't come, right? So now you're making 32 times the amount. He's like, that's amazing. But he said, that's not it. Once you get to this level and you're making 32 times the amount, You then make it here to the stage. And that's when Eric Worre said, I'm going to be at the front of the stage. Guys, when I heard that, I said, I've been here. This is why we don't miss events. He said, there's only one catch to all of this. If you miss any of these at any given point, you got to start back over. My question to all of you guys, and I'm going to share this. Let me go ahead and hopefully, let me mute my line. My question to everybody is, knowing that, are you going to miss an event? Are you going to miss the next event? Or are you going to start over? Nope. Awesome. So, can't see myself, but I know we have a really important guest that's going to be covering training tonight. And I just wanted to share that, guys. Don't miss the next event. You know, you don't want to start all over again. Build that momentum. And I'll see you guys in Orlando. And I'll see you guys on the stage, right? Put stage if you plan on being on the stage eventually soon here, right? I'm done. I'd love to give it back to you, Myra, so we can bring on our Pinnacle Senior Vice President, Alfred Nixon.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you so much, David, for always bringing it, doing what you do. Bruno, my goodness. I mean, a huge salute to you. Like, really, I've always heard, I know you've made some crazy sacrifices and just hearing your story along the way, but to have received this so raw and true like that, uncut, that's why you have the compensation you have. That's why you top the charts week after week after week. I mean, even in the emails from corporate being recognized as one within the top 10 of sales within the whole company, that's why. And then David, for you to have that math right there, it makes sense. I mean, who would want to take all the time and effort they've invested, not only with attending events, but having committed to this opportunity and go back to ground zero? I know not me. I definitely don't want to go backwards. So I see all the members lighting up the chat saying, stage. The platform is there. It's for us to achieve and for us to realize, right? And it has everything to do with vision. So I'm going to be quick and get out of the way, because nothing that I could even think to say right now could just, I don't know, make do for what this gentleman to follow is going to pour into us this evening. I had heard about him being able to share some of his time with us tonight. Understand he could have been speaking to any other part of it within his entire organization, other leaders within this business and all that. But of course, our Senior Vice President, Xavier Marrero, is always acknowledging him, thanking him, and recognizing him for his mentorship, his leadership, his example, right? But if you haven't already heard this gentleman's story, of course, he can go into it. But what I could tell you is just picture this. Let's say growing up in Section 8 housing, you might have it a little tough, right? Let's say you work for the Miami-Dade Sanitation Department, picking up trash in the beaches where people vacation at. But that is not quite your life at that time. So imagine growing up in a 2-bedroom apartment with about a dozen relatives all, and just having a vision of where you want to go in life. Just being committed to this dream and just knowing there's something bigger out there for you. Well, this gentleman is an example of that, right? At 19, he got started at his own business. And in his first 3 years, he made about $1,500. How many of you would have quit? I mean, we have people that overcome just the smallest challenges and throw in the towel completely, forgetting about their dreams, right? Dreams don't have an expiration date, ladies and gentlemen. They don't. Now, this gentleman can actually come and speak to us, pour into us, because he's basically driven by passion. He's motivated by the impact he's been able to create and continues to do so. So much that after those 3 years of not really doing a great deal of stuff, just building that solid foundation and being an entrepreneur and securing that and wanting to pursue his dreams of a business ownership, at 25 years old already earning his very first $1 million. I mean, the tables turn. They definitely turn. Again, it's vision. Know where you're going. But today he is not only a Pinnacle Senior Vice President with this opportunity and company. What that means is that at 28 years old, he's been able to earn over $10 million in income. He's been able to help create multiple 6 and 7 figure income earners. So definitely staying true to his mission and intention of impact. And as a Pinnacle Senior Vice President within our particular company, what that means is he's built an organization that generates no less than $10 million in sales every 30 days. This gentleman was very recently interviewed and aired on national television with a story titled as From Welfare to Millionaire, and having also achieved the, incredible accomplishment of purchasing a 6-bedroom home for his mother, Cash, talking about, Mommy, you're good. That's goals right there, ladies and gentlemen. So again, without any further delay, let me get out of the way. Please give all of your full and undivided attention to none other than our very own Pinnacle Senior Vice President, Mr. Alfred Nixon. Can you hear me?
Absolutely, absolutely. Myra, I certainly appreciate the kind words, that warm introduction. We was able to spend some time briefly over the weekend, and got some massive goals in store for your group. I'm super excited for you. Your consistency on these calls every Tuesday, opening it up, setting the platform, setting the pace. I certainly want to give it back to you, and we appreciate your leadership. Also, Mr. Marquez, man, he put so much in perspective, what he just broke down. That right there, we can end the training right now and just go to work, start making calls. But just to see this gentleman, I'll never forget a couple of conventions ago, he was an ESD at a convention. He brought a group of people. I remember him sitting, I think, first couple of rows. I'm like, man, I brought a ton of people with me to the convention. A few months later, this man went from 50,000 in volume to 250,000 because of the event, because he got people in the environment. So I want you guys to understand what we're talking about tonight. We're what, 20 something days away from the convention. I think 400 and something tickets left. Don't be the person on here like, yeah, I'm going to the convention, I'm gonna get my ticket, and then you go try to register for the convention, thing sold out. We can't accommodate certain amount of people. Once that thing is sold out, it's sold out. You want to be in the room. So certainly want to give it back to Mr. Marquez. Super proud of that gentleman. Excellent job tonight, Executive Vice President. Appreciate your leadership, and of course, the leader of the Relentless, my brother from another mother, Senior Vice President, Mr. Xavier Marrero, who's leading from the front. So I want everybody to come in here tonight. I want you to grab a pen, get a piece of paper. I want you to, if you got any distractions going on in the background, any dogs, anything, I need you to be very focused tonight, because we're going to have a conversation that can change everything for you. One of the things I want to start off with talking about is compounding success. You heard Myra mention a little bit about my story. 3 years, no money. But what she didn't mention to you guys, in those 3 years, let me show you something real quick. In those 3 years, my former company, we had a convention every 90 days. So in those 3 years, I went to 12 straight conventions. Broke. I was in the red, no money coming in. 12 straight conventions. Imagine that. Every 90 days, you traveling out of state to another destination. I'll never forget, we had a convention actually in San Jose, California. And I was so excited to go to that event. And I'll never forget coming to my mom. I said, Mom, could you loan me $20 for the weekend? For me to be able to just to eat over the weekend. I was going to just, mac chickens, a small fry, $1 Sprite. That was what I was going to do. And she told me no. I said, what you mean? She said, why would I give you $20 to go across the country? You broke. These people got you brainwashed. So I figured it out. And my mentor at the time, he got me a buddy pass. Now, I don't know if you know how buddy passes work, but you can't get on the plane unless the plane has a seat open. So I ended up missing the first 3 flights. right? Finally got on that 4th flight. By the time I landed in San Jose, California, $0 in my pocket, everybody was asleep. I'm calling, nobody answering the phone. I asked somebody at the airport, man, I'm trying to get to this hotel. He said, well, you can get on this bus. It's a free bus, but it goes so far. The guy who was driving the bus, he said, listen, I'm gonna tell you how far I go. I'm gonna tell you where you can get off at. That's all I can do for you. I got on the bus. He drove the bus as far as he can take me to. And I'll never forget, he said, hey man, your stop coming up. I'm gonna make a left turn. You gotta keep going straight. You will run right into the hotel. It's about a few miles down the road. I got off the bus, it was raining. Think about this, I'm raining with an Adidas bag, running in the rain. I think that the hotel was, I ran for at least 4 miles, no money, I haven't ate in hours, flew all the way across the country from Miami just to be at that event. I finally made it to the lobby. I'm all wet, I'm cold, I'm making phone calls, nobody's answering the call. Everybody's asleep, it's almost 4 in the morning at this point. So I had to sleep in the lobby that night. The convention was the following day. Had to sleep in the lobby for about a couple of hours before everybody started getting up, getting dressed. Was able to get into one of the rooms. They threw me in, took a quick shower, put on my suit, and I went to that convention. See, most people wouldn't have done that. And it would have made logic sense for me not to go to the convention, to not travel 3,000 miles across the country with no money in my pocket. But it was at that event. It wasn't even what was going on in the event. It was a hallway conversation I had with a gentleman by the name of Patrick Mazer. Go look him up, go to YouTube, put in Patrick Mazer, listen to that gentleman's training. It was some words he shared with me that changed the whole trajectory of my life, my vision, and how this platform works. He said, Alfred, listen, the event you miss is the event you need. Because I was sharing with him, I was like, man, it's certainly an honor to meet you, man. I've seen your videos. I've been studying your curriculum. I told him what I had to do to get to this event. He said, you're going to be a champion one day. He said, I want you to keep this in mind. He said, the event that you miss is the event that you need to get to the next level. See, most people say, you know what? I just go to the next event. Those people I just go to the next convention. They never make it to the next convention. Those people usually quit. And I want you to understand this, and I want you to write this down. I don't know if you know who Muhammad Ali promoter was. I don't know if you know who Mike Tyson promoter was, but it was a gentleman by the name of Don King. See, he made more money than Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali. He didn't even fight. All he did was promote the events. So it's not just enough for you to be in the environment. You want to be the Don King of this thing. If it takes you to say, you know what, I'm going to call all of my leaders one by one. I'm going to have a personal conversation with them, because if you get a certain amount of people in that room, what the transfer of information is going to do, not just the event, the hallway conversations that you get an opportunity to have. It's not even sometimes what's being talked about on stage. It's the hallway conversations, the people you're able to run into. So I went to my very first convention here in FES. This was like my 13th convention, going to 12 in another company. Now, again, I started this conversation talking about compounding success. I'm going to all of these events. How many people you've been to events like, man, these people keep talking about going to events. I'm going, but nothing's changing in my business. I'm not getting the results that I desire. Those 12 conventions painted the platform from where we're at today. I tell people all the time, I've made millions of dollars in my other company. I just cashed the checks in FES. See, all of the stuff that I learned from that company, all of the leadership, all of the hardships, all of the failures, all of the people that made fun of me, it built me up into the person I needed to become to develop the skill set. So when I got on the right playing field, I can run the race. See, I can tell you right now, as people that, and I was talking about this in the lobby, I said, if you're a professional athlete, it's something that's called the off season and the in season, game time. See, right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're in the off season. And if you're a professional athlete, if you're not training or doing the work, when you come to training camp, they gonna cut you. You're not making the team. See, right now, this is training camp, leading into the convention. How many people you gonna get in the room? How many people you gonna have registered in each leg? See, if you're not doing the work, you're not even gonna make the team. And see, the 5-week month, if you do the work right now, the convention is the Super Bowl. So it's not just about going to the convention, it's about doing the work leading up to the convention so you can play in the Super Bowl and change your life. So I went to my very first convention. I thank God for Mr. Ashton Henry. He invited me. See, some of you just think, well, I'm gonna just post it in my group and whoever come, they come. I'm not gonna force people to come. See, if Ashton would have never gave me a personal phone call, I would have never came to this event. I had went to 12 straight, nothing changed. He gave me a personal phone call. He said, Alfred, are you coming to the event? I said, what event? He said, the convention. And I started giving him excuses. I don't need no hype. I did that in my other, I don't know if I want to go. He said, listen, I need to know if you're coming or not, so I know how to work with you. I need to know if you're serious. I don't invest my time in people that don't even come to the convention. I said, you know what, let me look up some flights. I had never been to Vegas, and I came to that event, and I was able to rally up a few people with me to come to that event. Last minute, rallied up a few people. I was a sales director. Ashton was a regional. Sam Frederick had came with us. Another lady named Leandra Holland. We had a few other people that wasn't in this photo. This event, ladies and gentlemen, it prepared everything for me. I was able to meet Mr. Paramel Nayak. I was able to see the vision of the company. I was able to meet Nicola Smith Jackson for the very first time. It lit something in me. I thought I was doing good in the business. I hit sales director, found out I was doing the business the wrong way this whole time. I was leaving a ton of money on the table. When I went to this event, ladies and gentlemen, 60 days later, I was still working the same way as far as the intensity, but because of the direction and the things that I was able to get out of that event, 60 days later, we went VP. 90 days later, we went R&R Club. See, I can tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, if I wouldn't have went to this event, I wouldn't be on this call today. If I wouldn't have went to this event, I probably wouldn't have made it 6 months. See, I had a bad taste in my mouth about the industry. I had never got paid my work. I was overworked and underpaid. I was in the red in my career earnings in this industry because I was spending all of my money to get to an event. But when I left that convention, nobody knew my name. I was a nobody. But when I came back to that next convention, ladies and gentlemen, I was walking that stage getting my 6-figure ring. How many people, put a 5 in the chat, if you're gonna walk the stage the next convention, you're gonna get your ring. You're gonna set your family free. See, it all starts out at the conventions, the big events. This is the Super Bowl of what we do here. If you're not coming, we gotta second guess what you really want out of this platform, what you really want out of this opportunity. That's like me trying to be a doctor, never going to class, and they giving me an opportunity to do open heart surgery. We could agree that that person that I'm doing that surgery on, they're gonna die because I don't know what I'm doing. Same thing in this business. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to get to the events. This was my organization at the last event that we had in February, the last convention. My goal this year, 2,000 people. It's only 3,000 people that can fit in the room. 2,000 people. That's my goal, right? We close to that goal with the amount of registrations that we have. We're gonna own the room. We're gonna dominate the room. And I understand those 2,000 people, what that's gonna turn like, what that's gonna look like for our organization. 99% of this room was my organization. We had some people that snuck in. We didn't care if they sneak in. They wanted to get the nuggets. That's fine too. But 99% of this room, we rented a room after the first day of the convention to paint the vision for the team. Imagine if your organization looked like this, just people that was on your team that was at convention. This is how we hit pinnacle. The amount of people that we had at the event like this, we was able to go out there and build it significant. You can do the same thing if you paint the vision. If you make those personal calls, you can win big here. Talking about Alyssa Barnes, we got her at an event. She didn't know, she was a sales director trying to figure this thing out. She's seen some of the success that I was having, but when she went to a personal event, when she was able to see Anthony Jackson walk the stage at VP, When she was able to see myself and Mr. Ashton Henry, she was able to go in those breakout rooms. She left that event with a fire in her and became the first millionaire in her family. Let's talk about my top leader, Xavier Marrero of Team Relentless. See, I gave him a personal phone call. I didn't just post it in the chat. I said, listen, I need you to be here with me in Atlanta on this date. We figured it out. We got him a ticket. He came to that event as a field trainer, ladies and gentlemen. Xavier was a field trainer, ladies and gentlemen, at this event. It took him 6 months to hit sales director. But see, when he came to this event, it lit a fire in him, ladies and gentlemen. See, when he came to this event, he grew confidence. He hung out with the team. He had hallway conversations, and he went back to the Tampa marketplace and painted the vision on what it is today. Team Relentless. Now he's a senior vice president, top earner in the company. It started from an event. He came to this event with a polo shirt on. He came to this event. He drove the whole way to meet me in Atlanta because he made that commitment. Because he made that sacrifice, he's now today a senior vice president. Talk about Bruce Rochester. He came to the event. He's now a multi-millionaire with this platform. Events changes everything, right? But it's not just about bringing events. Why do we even promote events? You heard me talk about Don King. Go Google him. Go study this man. Go see how he was able to promote events. I don't know if you watch MMA, Conor McGregor broke his feet. He broke his leg. And when he was on the floor, he was already promoting the next fight. I don't know if you know who Floyd Mayweather is, but they call him the pay-per-view king. He's made $1 billion in commissions because he knows how to promote events. He knows how to get people to be intrigued to come to go see the show. You got to become a master at promoting events. See, events, again, it's going to create belief. That belief is going to give you that confidence. That confidence is going to make you take action and do things that you probably would have never done before if you wasn't in that environment. So see, before I went to my first event, my first major event, I questioned, could I really do this? Put a 3 in the chat if you like, man, I jump on these calls, I come to some of the trainings, but I'm still questioning, can I really make it big? Can I really hit VP? Can I really get 6 figures? Can I really do what the Bruce Lee Rochesters, the Arnold Burgundies, the Razor Arturos, the Rock, could I really do what they're doing? See, I questioned the same thing. But when I went to my first event, man, it gave me everything I needed that I knew that I can do it. See, I had the potential. I had the work ethic. I would do anything from my family. I wanted to build this thing significant. I seen the success. Some of y'all came into the company. You seen Ashton. You seen Nicola. You seen myself. You seen some videos. You seen the lifestyle that they was. You had the potential, and you was willing to go and do everything it took to get to that next level. But potential ain't good enough, ladies and gentlemen. Just because you're on this call and you got potential, that's not good enough. I talked about it on Saturday, lady. That's like having a lion in the cage. See, we know this lion could do damage. But even if he's in the cage, he can't do anything. See, there's many of you, everything you want, the car you want, the house you want, the bank account you want, the title you want, is right outside of your comfort zone. See, I made many sacrifices with family. They called me crazy. Friends, they called me dumb. They used to laugh at me for making the sacrifices that we made back then when they didn't see the results. See, it's called compounding success. You may come to all of these events, all of these trainings, and not seeing no results. You may be even going backwards in your business. So now you second guessing, like, I'm spending money, I'm losing money by going to the event, no results happening. You have to stay and plugged in. So you have to continue to go. See, I don't know if you know the story on if a penny doubles every day for the next 30 days, how much money you will have. See, most people, the first few days, the penny is not juggling, but if you take that money, if you keep it going, by day 23, it's already in the multi-millions. So you got to stay the course. You got to get from what this lion is, having potential, being in the cage, to being out there living your best life, to being out there swinging for the fences and becoming a lion that can change your family direction. Now think about how you feel right now. Think about the perspective. You heard Bruno, who didn't even have no money to come. He couldn't even eat. He got back from the event. He couldn't even find a ride to get home. He had to walk on the highway to meet somebody. Think about that. Today, he's a six-figure earner. Today, he wake up when he's done sleeping. He don't wake up to an alarm clock. Today, he's on trainings. Today, he's serving his team. Today, he's buying hotel rooms, all because he came to an event. So think about how you feel right now. Imagine if you didn't even come to this training tonight. Imagine if you didn't come. Your perspective, you probably didn't have no intentions on going to Orlando. No intentions on like, hey, you know, I've been to a few of those trainings. I came to about 2 or 3 of them. Nothing has changed. See, I went to 12 straight, ladies and gentlemen. Spent money I didn't have. We paid the price to get the bank account, the success that we have today. You have to stay plugged in, right, with this platform. Now, real quick, take a screenshot of this. This is going to help you with everything you want out of our platform. I heard this from the GOAT, Eric Worre. He said, Alfred, you're going to earn about $2,500 a year per person you get to the national convention. So if I know I want to make $250,000 for the next 12 months, I need to get 100 people there. If I know I want to make a 6-figure income over the next 12 months, I need to get 50 people there. Alfred, listen, I'm looking to get to that $500,000, bro. You need to get 200 people there, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to get to that 7-figure mark, you got to get 400 people there. See, Eric Worre, I stay plugged into this gentleman. We're in the leadership, we're in the mastermind. Today I had a conversation with him. He wants me to train on the accelerator in front of thousands of people. That's the trust he has in me because of the relationship he got. I'm plugged in. I'm investing in myself. Even to this day, I'm still hiring coaches. You have to stay plugged in. Now, it's not just about bringing a ton of people with you to the event. We talked about the numbers of how much you can make. You have to be strategic with this thing. Strategic. Let me show you something. If you're on a call and you're a field trainer, sales director, senior field trainers, you may have 3 legs of business. You need to be working on how could I get 5 to 20 people per leg at this convention. See, it's not just about bringing a ton of people. You want to have every leg of your business represented because you want balance. You don't want to just have a steroid leg. You want other leaders to emerge in other different legs of organizations, right? Now, if you're an ESD, vice president, you got 4 legs of business now. You want to have at least 20 to 50 people, depending on the size of your organization, each leg going to the convention. See, if you do that, ladies and gentlemen, you will have balance. Leaders will emerge in your organization. If you got 5 legs, RVPs and above, you want to have 50 to 100 people per leg. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do the work now, I told you this is the off season. See, the athletes that's not working out in the off season, they're not even gonna make the team, bro. They finna get cut. Forget playing in the Super Bowl. They're not even gonna make the team. They ain't even gonna play in the preseason game. They coming in the training camp out of shape. They're not making the team, bro. Right now, it's the off season. You have to do the work. You have to lift the weights. You have to promote. You gotta be the Don King of your business. You gotta paint the vision to your people. You the visionary. You the leader. What you want your organization to look like. What you want that 5-week month. We're going to have people that's going to get double and triple promoted. We're going to have people go from RVP to SVP because they lifting the weights right now in the off season. They coming into training camp, which is the convention, in the best shape of their life. And that Super Bowl that's going to happen in that 5-week month. So you got to understand how this thing works. Going into convention, that's the 3rd week of a 4-week cycle. So that means coming out, we gonna close that last week, we gonna smash it. Y'all already know how we go to last week. We sign up so many agents, your check gonna look nice the following week. But then we got the 5-week month coming right out of that. Strategically, we already setting a game plan for people to hit their goals. Now you got 5 weeks to have maniacs in your organization, people ready to run through a wall, give it they all. That's gonna help you get double, triple, quadruple promoted, but you have to do the work now, ladies and gentlemen. The secret to going vice president, take a screenshot of this. If you on this call and you're not a VP yet, you should have minimum, these are minimal numbers, 10 people with you at this convention. 10 people with you in Orlando. Man, I'll never forget. We used to have conventions in many different states. I never had the opportunity to have a convention in the state that I live. I'll never forget, it's a gentleman on Curlin's team who me and him used to get a 12-passenger van, but we didn't have the money to afford a flight. We would drive from Miami to Charlotte, North Carolina, one way and back. That's a 12-hour round trip. That's 24 hours we had to drive round trip just to be at the event. So if you're on this call and you're like, I don't know, I want to go, but I don't know how I'm going to do this thing. You got to figure it out. Get that 12-passenger van. Plug in with somebody. See who's renting the van. I used to be in a room with 12 and 13 people. I didn't care because I just needed a place to sleep and shower. I wasn't going to be in that room. I was going to be in the people. I was going to be in the event, right? So you got to figure it out. If you want to go RVP, 25 people with you. EVP, 50 people with you. SVP, you got to get 100 people with you. Because we could agree, put a 1 in the chat. If you agree that the information that the people gonna get at the convention, they got at least enough information to go SD in the next 60 days. Facts. So if you bring 10 people with you, and again, it's not just about bringing the people with you. It has to be strategic. We got to give these people a game plan. We don't want them to just be there floating around just to be excited to be there. Listen, we hear about business. We hear about legacy. Pay attention to what you're going to get. Here's the game plan coming out of this event. You don't want to just have a bunch of people there that just go home. Because here's what's going to happen. It's easy to be excited in an environment like that. You're around top earners. You at the big major event. But when you leave that environment and you go back to reality, you can easily get sidetracked. See, we got some people that left the Miami event, they already got sidetracked. They already got distracted. Family issues, different things is already distracting them, right? So you got to paint the vision for the people. You got to stay on top of them. You got to give them the game plan to really go out and build big. And as I close out, last I checked, it was about 400 and some tickets left. I'm going to tell you right now, from today on all the way until the last week of the volume month, I'm doing major calls with all of the top leaders in the company. We're talking to each of their legs of business about this convention. Those 400 tickets is going to be gone. The way that I'm promoting the conversations, the private conversations we're having with the leaders, they're going to be gone. The conversations I'm having with my direct enrolled leaders that need to get promoted to another level, they need to have a certain amount of people in this, those tickets going to be gone. So if you on this call tonight, my question to you is not even is you registered. If you on this call, I look at you as a leader. If you on this call, I look at you as somebody that's looking to get to the next level. It's 10 o'clock at night, right? It's 11:16 at night. You could be doing you here. So that I expect that you already committed and got your ticket. If you haven't, you need to get that tonight. But my question to you is how many people you bring? If that means you got to front tickets from some people and they got to give you the money back later, because once these tickets sell out, that's it. So I need you to go right now. If you're on this call and you're not registered, I need you to go right now and get positioned. This investment is not for me. It's for you. It's for your legacy. It's for your family. It's for your freedom. We talk about $200. Are you kidding me? You know how much it costs to get into an Eric Worre leadership? Man, $25,000 minimum. You talk about $200 where you can come and meet the owners, where you can come and have those hallway conversations with the 6 to 7 to 8 figure earners, where you can go out there and get set free. You heard the stories from the leaders tonight. Bruno has a powerful story. What he was able to do coming from not even having the money to where he's at tonight. I want to encourage everybody. Go get your ticket, man. That's an investment in yourself. Even if you got to put it on the credit card, even if you got to borrow the money, you have to secure your spot, man. You have to be in this room. You don't want to be the person that wait last minute and say, you know what? I'm gonna wait till Infinity Bonus week. You get paid in a couple of days. You can't wait a couple of days. You got to get that ticket tonight, because I'm gonna tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this thing gonna sell out quickly over the next few days. as I make the rounds with the leadership and do these calls. I hope you was able to get value tonight. We drilling this in people's head. We're talking about the structure. We're talking about how many legs, how many people per leg you need to have, how much money you can make per people. We're going to drill this into people until they fully understand. Because I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, these numbers right here are 1,000% accurate. 1,000% accurate. If you want to make whatever money you want to make, here's the formula right here to do it. Get a certain amount of people to the national convention. See, in my former company, we had to do 4 of them a year. That's why I went to 12 straight, 3 years being in the company. We only got to do 1 a year. Some of y'all live in Florida. Like, we had to travel all over the country to be at these events 4 times a year. So I'm gonna leave you with this. I want you to write down right now to yourself, to your family. If you don't have a checkbook, I want you to go figure it out, put it on a Zoom, get something. I need you to write a check to yourself of how much money you want to make in this business over the next 12 months. Is that going to be 100,000? Is that going to be 250,000? Is that going to be $500,000, $1 million bucks, or even more? Write that down. Because before you even have it, you have to see it. You have to already act as if you're a 6-figure earner, multiple 6-figure, 7-figure earner. Write that check to yourself, man. Everything I have in my life right now was all put on the vision board. And I end with this. They did a study on Harvard back in 1927. And they had the graduating class of 1927 for Harvard. Only 3% of those people wrote down their goals. And they studied that class and they followed that graduating class for the next 25 years. And here's what they found. That 3% that wrote down their goals, they did better than the 97% that didn't combine. See, that 3%, it already separates you from the pack. It separates you from the masses. You can't just go through this business going through the motions. You have to be intentional about what you want. You can't just say, okay, we got a 5-week month coming up. I think I should get promoted. No, you have to do the work in the off season to lead up to hit that promotion. It's not just going to happen just because. You have to be intentional, ladies and gentlemen. And everything is going to lead us into Orlando. So again, I hope you guys got value tonight. Go to fesevents.com, get your ticket, get registered, have those private conversations with your team, and we'll see you in Orlando. I'm gonna turn it back over to you, Myra.
Wow. Oh my goodness. I think thank you is an understatement. I'm truly beside myself. I was kind of sitting there thinking, man, if there were ever a time I wanted to quit hosting, it would be like, right. I don't think I have anything much that I can say, but truly, I mean, on behalf of the entire organization, on behalf of the whole entire team, and I know that on my part as well, thank you so much, Mr. Alfred Nixon, for being genuine, for being raw, for casting that vision, and also reminding us on what the fruits of staying true to that can actually equal. So like yourself, thank you for not only paving the way, but for staying true and for knowing that you had dreams bigger than your circumstances at the time. And just for speaking so much life to this entire organization. We've been lighting it up in the chat team, but go ahead and show this man some love, understanding he could be doing anything else, but he wanted to take some time and just, bless us with that, give us that really, really great word. And of course, just continuing to pour out into us. And I know, may God continue to bless you, Alfred, and you and your family. And I know that your journey is blessed, of course, and may all the doors continue to open. So again, we thank you. Everyone, like he said, fesevents.com, get access to it. Get with your leader. If you don't know, we've been putting it on blast in each and every single chat. This is no different. Of course, be there, be present. Make sure that you are securing the path and the journey to realizing all of your goals, right? And just making it real for you and your loved ones. So again, God bless everyone. Take care. This will be shared, of course. Get back with your teams. Get back with your leaders. We're all here to help support you, as well as continuing to invite those and everyone. And I'm excited. I'm super excited to see everyone there in Orlando too. In just a few 20 days, right? That's a couple of nights and a couple of wake ups, right? So again, God bless everyone. I believe we have pretty much finished it up for the night. Again, I don't think that we can even top anything else after that.
Let me hop in here. Hey guys, just listen up. Remember, we are in a 90-day run. We are still pushing. We have training tomorrow, okay? Core rank, and we have power presentation. All right, guys, we're going to keep powering through. David and I and the other trainers, we have some amazing things in store for you guys tomorrow. We appreciate your commitment. We appreciate what you're doing. We're seeing the results. And guys, we're leading to convention with this. I tell you what, we're just pouring more gasoline on the fire. Let's get it, guys.